Did you know that your VA disability rating is not just a monetary payment, but you can qualify for additional benefits based on your rating?
This is one of the VA benefits we will be discussing today. We will also be examining the history of Veterans Day, and get this, if you are a military retiree, we will be discussing a program where you could be adding more to your wallet.
These are some of the topics we'll be covering, so stick around. It's time for the Sit Rep.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sit Rep. I am Marine Corps veteran Paul Corbett.
And I am Army veteran Mike McNamara. Many veterans just see their VA disability rating as a monthly, tax-free stipend. However, as Paul and I will examine, your disability rating is so much more than that. So, Paul, what makes your disability rating so important?
Yes. So, Mike, as you had previously stated, a lot of people think that, your disability rating really just has to do with the monthly stipend that you get
Right.
From VBA. But your percentage of disability actually can create an entire benefits package for you, depending on what percentage of disability you have.
Right. And most veterans, they're concentrating on that monthly check, which is nice. But as you said, I mean, whether you're 0% all the way up to 100%, that opens so many more doors for you. So give me an example. Say I'm a 20% disabled veteran. Besides my monthly check, what could I be looking at as far as some other benefits that are available to me?
Well, as a 20%er, there's a lot of different things, but I mean, I'll start at 0%.
All right, that's a good idea.
And a lot of people don't know that you can actually be 0%.
Right.
And you can be 0% non-compensable, or you could be 0% compensable.
Right.
Which is funny, but it's saying that basically it's the VA saying, hey, yes, you do have a disability, but that disability isn't keeping you from being able to live a full quality of life. Yes, it happened, but it's just not severe enough that it's hurt you in a particular way or a particular function in your life with work or anything like that.
And the key point to that is, though, I think, is that you don't necessarily have to be 0% for the rest of your life.
No.
If that, say you're 0% for your elbow, if your elbow gets worse as you get older, you can go back and ask for a reevaluation.
Correct.
And that maybe that 0 turns into 10, 20, 30, or what have you.
Right. But I mean, regardless of whether you're 0% compensable or non-compensable, you have the ability now. You have actually for about a year now had the ability to go onto military bases and use the exchange or the commissary and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If there are appointments that you have through the VA, which there are income limits, and at the end of the segment, we will have a web link that people can go to find out all the details that I'm talking about. Because some of this really gets into the weeds, and I don't want to really confuse people.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely. We could be here till tomorrow talking about every single benefit at every single percentage.
This would be the longest show
we've ever done.
Yeah. But things really start changing once you start getting into, say, like 30% disability. Prior to that, anybody that has any percentage of disability, you can have a waiver for a VA home loan. Like I said, the commissaries, you can receive travel pay for going to appointments and stuff with the VA. If they're scheduled, you can't just walk in, but if it's a scheduled appointment, there's travel reimbursement. Once you have 10% disability, you also have the ability to use the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program, which used to be a vocational rehabilitation program, but they've changed the name of it. And if an individual is looking to try and change careers or something like that, they can use that program to gain that education that they need, or whatever aspect of their portfolio that they need in order to gain full employment. But once you hit 30%, you also have the ability to be a direct hire into the government.
Right.
So if there's a job posted, or even if the job's not posted, if they're just thinking about looking for someone and your resume is sitting there and you're fully qualified, they could just direct hire you, non-compete. Other stuff is that, big one. So if you're receiving disability payments each month or a stipend every month, once you hit 30%, now you can also add your dependents to that.
Right.
And so, you might get an additional $130 a month or whatever the number is. I don't know what off
For
the
the
top
number
of
of
my head.
dependents you have.
But each dependent could increase the amount of disability that you're receiving, but you have to be at 30% or higher in order to start using that.
Right.
Then once you get to 50% disability, now all your health care, all your prescriptions are completely free. So
No copays at all.
nothing at all. So, I mean, I could end up having to go in and get a new heart, and it's going to cost me $0.
Right.
I mean, God forbid that ever happened. But, so that's a big deal. Also, another big deal, I know we'll talk more about this later on in the show, but with individuals who are retired, once you hit 50%, you can get your full retirement and your full VA disability compensation together.
Right. So before 50%, there's an offset.
Correct. Yeah. Which you would know more about that because you'll be retiring.
Right. So if you retired from the military after 20 years or however many years, and you're under 50%, then you will have the choice on whether you want your full disability payment or whether you want your full retirement payment. You can't get both. So there's an offset based upon what you're making and such and what you're getting for your disability payment. Once you go over 50%, as you said, now you get 100% of both every single month, no
Right.
questions asked. You
Yep.
get your full your full retirement pay, and you get your full disability compensation from the VA.
Correct.
So yeah, that's an important one. That's a big step and a big milestone to surpass if you're 50% or more.
Right. Then once you hit 60%, then stuff can get really get into the weeds. I mean, and depending on the different types of percentages that you have based on the different types of disabilities and whether you're capable of working and all that kind of stuff, I mean, your family could end up qualifying for CHAMP VA. You yourself could end up qualifying for dental. You could qualify at 100% because you're unemployable. There's just all sorts of different things
Right.
that go on there. And like I said, I mean, if you really want to dive into that, anybody that's in the audience, if you really want to dive into that stuff, at the very end of this segment, we'll have a web link for you to be able to go to and check all that out. The big one is when you get to 100%, obviously. It's a rather large monetary stipend that you can receive. But also, you're guaranteed free dental while you're 100% or 100% disabled. And then there's also options later on in life for your dependents. Well, you're a spouse. So, I mean, if you're at 100% disability for 10 plus years and you unfortunately pass away, there's a possibility of there being a pension that's being passed on to your spouse to help offset income because, at that age, most people are on a fixed income and,
Right.
and what have you. So losing one member of the household can make a really big difference. So there's a lot of different things that people can take advantage of at different percentages of disability. But that percentage of disability is really important, and it controls a lot more than just the monetary
Just a
stipend.
check.
Yeah.
I also know, let's talk a little bit about the percentages where you can get end-of-life care, hospice care, nursing home care, and then the ultimate care, which is, burial and plot expenses. And I know all those come into play. And those are costly expenses that unfortunately families have to deal with in one way or another at some point. So go ahead and touch on how those all come into play.
So as far as burial expenses or plot allowance and that kind of stuff goes, if you're any percentage of disability, compensable disability, then the VA may or can assist your family with that later on down the road. I would highly recommend that you reach out to them. And like I said, at the end of the segment, there will be a web link for people to go to, and it's full of other links that people can find out information about this. With regard to home care and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's very expensive. I mean, I think the average cost for that kind of care is like $54,000 a year.
It's crazy.
It's a lot of money, and especially with individuals living so much longer now.
Right.
I mean, you could need that for 20, 30 years possibly. But the VA does have options for that. I mean, the VA itself has its own nursing homes. It does have a lot of partnerships with community facilities and what have you. So there are options. For the most part, someone that is at the 70% threshold or higher in disability, they'll be able to qualify for that type of stuff. But there are also people can be less than 70% and qualify. It just depends on whether it's the disability that's causing their need for home care and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to go out on a limb and say, oh, yes, you qualify this
Right.
way, don't qualify that way.
There's so many factors you
There
really
are
have to
tons
plug
of
in.
I mean, every veteran is unique. You and I both know, just from doing outreach and chatting with a veteran, we can talk with 20 different veterans, and 15 of them out of that 20 are going to qualify for a completely different reason. You know, one of them might have had combat experience in Vietnam. Someone else might have been deployed to Iraq. Someone else might have a Purple Heart. Someone else might be low enough income that they meet the geographic, threshold or something like that. So across the board, whether it's you're qualifying for VA health care or whether it's the percentage of disability that you have or whatever the case may be, every veteran's opportunity for utilizing VA healthcare is very unique to them. So, I encourage everybody that's out there, get engaged with your facility. You can call them. You can speak with people that are in the business office who handle eligibility enrollment. They'll be able to tell you what your benefits package is. Or you could speak with the ombudsman that's at the hospital, local hospital. There's a lot of different things. Or, like I said, in a couple minutes, we'll be giving out the web link for all this information that people can go to and click around and find more about what we're talking
Right.
about.
I think something to touch on real quick, you said a little bit earlier, and that's the burial and plot allowance. While the VA can help, I would also strongly encourage veterans to look into their particular states. A lot of states have pretty robust programs for end of life, and especially in this area where we happen to be in the New England region right now, there's only a couple federal cemeteries, federal VA cemeteries. And so most people look at the option of state VA cemeteries. And that's there too. As you and I spoke about, I have done that already myself. I've already reserved my spot in the local state cemetery, and also for my wife, and since my son is disabled and a dependent, for he also. So that's one less thing that my family is going to have to worry about at the time. There's already a spot for me to go, for my wife to go. So that's important, and you definitely should look into that. That's a benefit probably most of us don't want to think about, never think about,
Right.
but it looms for all of us
Right.
at one time or another. So yeah, I would strongly encourage people. You just don't want to saddle your loved ones. I mean, obviously, you won't worry about it anymore.
No, I won't be thinking about it.
Right. But somebody in your family is going to have to pick up that ball now and figure out how to take care of dad or mom or their sister or whatever the case may be, whoever the veteran is. And that's a big burden at a time when it's already very emotional. People are hurting, and the least amount of decisions they have to make at that time is best. And it's already set up for you. You just got to plug yourself into it, and now it's ready to go.
Yeah, not to expand too far on this, but a living veteran has the ability to go ahead and get the pre-need burial
Right.
lot allowance thing all set up and everything else. They can even choose what their marker is going to be or their
Right.
headstone. And I mean, all that paperwork can be filled out. Whereas, I mean, you put that together with your DD 214 and put it in a lockbox somewhere and
It's good.
then
I mean, that's all I had to do. It was one form with a copy of my DD 214. I sent it in to the state Veterans Department, and then I got a letter back saying you're qualified, your wife's qualified, your son's qualified, you'll be buried at this cemetery, and that you're right. Now I have that letter, and all my loved ones will have to do is just present that to the funeral home or and then it's all set. It's all taken care of,
Right.
and nobody has to worry and start thinking about and do we buy a plot, all that stuff that happens. But, you're right. And we could go down that rabbit hole for a
that's another whole
long
show.
time. It's another whole show. So I guess, in finishing up this segment then, what's the most important thing for veterans to be thinking about when they acquire a level of VA disability?
that their percentage of disability affects more than just their monthly stipend. There's a lot more to it than that, whether you're looking at memorial benefits, if you're looking at healthcare benefits, education benefits, all of them feed off of one another. And so I would just highly recommend to people, the web link that you can go to is benefits.va.gov/benefits/derivative_SC.ASP. It's on the screen.
I can say
That's a mouthful. It's a lot of letters. But go there. You'll see that there are tons of links and what have you that you can go through and see what really interests you or what's going on in their life that matches up with what's on this matrix that the VA has created for them to be able to review, and then just start a conversation. I mean, if you're really looking at, oh wow, I didn't realize I could qualify for, an employment benefit. Well, then take that step, make that phone call, and start exploring those avenues that maybe you didn't know you had.
Right. As Paul just said, if you're interested in hearing more about VA disability ratings, search for #TheSitRep on YouTube or with the link on the screen below.
And so when we come back, we will be chatting about one of the most important military holidays that we have during the year, and that is Veterans Day. We'll see you in a minute.
Who is the first woman to lead U.S. troops in combat? A. Harriet Tubman. B. Mary Halloran. C. Kristen Grist. D. Shay Haver. Or E. Elsie Ott? The answer when we return.
As a family member of someone who utilizes the VA, it's been very supportive for our family.
The VA hospital, in comparison to the private sector, is very different. We can show up and he can be seen quickly, and they take very good care of him.
The care that they needed was all there in one location. There was no making an appointment to come back another time for care.
I would tell a veteran to register in the VA. It's healthcare, and it's healthcare at its finest.
Connect with the benefits you've earned and deserve. Call 844-VA-CARES.
Who is the first woman to lead U.S. troops in combat? The answer is A. Harriet Tubman. Tubman began life as a slave. In 1849, she escaped to Philadelphia and started helping other slaves escape to freedom. On June 1st, 1863, she led 150 soldiers from the 54th Massachusetts on the Combahee River raid in South Carolina. They freed more than 750 slaves, many of whom joined the Union Army.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. The month of November is important to me as a Marine because it's, the Marine Corps birthday, but for all veterans, it's Veterans Day. And so, Mike, I'm actually ignorant to this. How long has Veterans Day been celebrated in the United States of America?
It's funny, Veterans Day itself has not been celebrated all that long. It started out as Armistice Day, and that's why it's on November 11th. It marked when World War I ended, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And so November 11th became Armistice Day and was celebrated right into the 50s. And then in the 1950s, a lot of veterans organizations petitioned the Congress and the president. Eisenhower was the president at the time, and as you remember, Eisenhower had been the general that commanded all U.S. forces or all Allied forces in Europe during World War II. So obviously it was very near and dear to his heart. And in the 1950s, 1954 to be exact, Congress changed the word armistice to veterans. And it basically pays homage to all those men and women who have served the United States as a member of the armed forces. And it became a national holiday as Armistice Day in the 30s, and then still continues to be a federal national holiday on the 11th of November each year.
And so I see this all the time. There's a lot of confusion. I shouldn't say a lot of confusion, but people often mix up two of the most well-known military holidays, and those being Veterans Day and Memorial Day.
Yeah, the simple answer is Veterans Day pays honor to all those who served. Memorial Day pays honor to those who lost their life, who gave their life in service of their country. And Memorial Day is a much older holiday. It can trace its origins all the way back to the 1860s.
Jeez.
And it was basically after the Civil War. They decided that they had to pay homage to all these Americans, both North and South, who had given their lives in that conflict. And then in 1868, General John Logan said that it would be Observance Day. And it was basically in May because that's when, throughout, no matter where you lived in the country, flowers had bloomed. And the observance was to place flowers on the graves of those soldiers who had been killed or who had given their life in the service of their country. So that's why Memorial Day is the end of May.
So is that where the whole poppy thing came from?
Totally different.
Okay.
Yes and no. The poppy thing actually comes from England, Great Britain. That's a British tradition of the red poppy.
No kidding.
Yes, on Armistice Day, or what they call their version of Veterans Day. For us, it was just that was the thing they had back then. You're talking the 1860s, was to just place fresh flowers on the graves, and obviously if you're in Maine or Upper Peninsula Michigan, you're probably not seeing flowers to the end of May. So that's why it kind of ended up being May. Originally, it was around May 30th. And then that date carried on to where finally the passage of the National Holiday Act of 1971 made it an official federal holiday. And it was changed from Observance Day to Memorial Day. And like I said, to with the difference being it's supposed to be a more somber holiday. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be a reflection on those who have given their lives. Where Veterans Day is more of a celebration, thanking those who served. So that's kind of the differentiation between the two holidays.
Well, Mike, thank you. As always, interesting information. And to all of you out there, our next segment is going to be a new segment that we've never done before called the Liberty Brief, where we take specific benefits and break them down to their bare bones. So we'll see you in just a minute.
Who is the only woman to be awarded the United States Medal of Honor? A. Harriet Tubman. B. Mary Lincoln. C. Mary Edwards Walker. D. Grace Murray Hopper. Or E. Elsie Ott? The answer when we return.
Working at the VA is so meaningful to me because you get to see how helping a veteran affects not only their lives, but the lives of their families.
Time and time again, I'll have a veteran come up and say, hey, I met you here last year at this event.
And tell me that the VA has saved their lives, and it was all because they enrolled in the VA healthcare system.
Eligible veterans can get everything that they need from the VA. Getting them introduced to the programs and services that are available is a very rewarding experience.
Connect with the benefits you've earned and deserve. Call 844-VA-CARES.
Who is the only woman to be awarded the United States Medal of Honor? The answer is C. Mary Walker. Dr. Mary Walker was a U.S. Army surgeon during the American Civil War from 1862 till 1865. In April 1864, she was captured by Confederate troops while treating wounded soldiers and spent months as a prisoner of war in Richmond, Virginia. She was awarded the Medal of Honor after the war for gallantry and devotion treating the wounded and for hardships endured as a POW.
Welcome back, everyone. This episode's Liberty Brief takes a look at combat-related special compensation. CRSC is a program that was created for military retirees with combat-related disabilities.
That's right, Paul. CRSC is unique, and I didn't know about it until you and I had a conversation about a week ago. But as you said, it is a tax-free entitlement that you will be paid each month, along with any retired pay you may already be receiving. But obviously, there's eligibility, as there is with all VA benefits.
Right.
So in order to qualify for CRSC, you have to be entitled to and or receiving military retired pay. You have to be rated at least 10% or higher by the VA. You have to waive your VA pay from your retired pay. Now, that is if you're less than 50% disabled.
Right.
If you're more than 50% disabled, that doesn't apply, as we've already discussed, as you said. And you have to file a CRSC application with your branch of service. I think what's really important about this is there is another form of compensation out there if you are a retiree and if you are a combat veteran. And I would strongly encourage everybody to look into the CRSC program if you meet those two stipulations, regardless of branch or service. For anyone out there who has questions or is curious about maybe their eligibility for CRSC, you can call 1-800-321-1080 or go to www.dfas, that's DFAS.mil.
Well, that's our show today, folks. Thanks for watching. We would like to say thank you to the VA New England Healthcare System who makes this show possible. And as always, you can find our content on YouTube by searching #TheSitRep.
That's right, Paul. And as always, to those who have served or are currently serving, thank you for your service.